So what is economics? Well, the problem with looking it up is that there are just so many different definitions out there. So which one's the right one? Well, unfortunately, they all are.
What you talking about, Willis?
Let me explain. When you Google what is economics, which I'm sure you've already done, it gives you this: the branch of knowledge concerned with the production, consumption, and transfer of wealth. But when you look it up in your textbook, it says something along the lines of the social science that studies the choices people, businesses, governments, and societies make as they cope with scarcity. Now that's a lot different from the Google definition, so how can they both be right? Well, it's because they're saying the same thing, it's just the Google definition is being way more specific than the textbook one. In its broadest form, economics is the study of choices that individuals or a group have to make because of limited resources. This is basically the textbook definition, just limited resources replaces scarcity because it means the same thing. So there's a focus on studying choice. Economists study the choices we make in our lives in order to explain how we make our choices, why we make our choices, and the effects of our choices. The goal is to be able to predict how people will make choices and what will happen when a particular choice is made. They're basically just glorified fortune tellers, but instead of using crystal balls, they use models. Not those ones, unfortunately. So they can study anything that involves limited resources. And a limited resource is just anything that can be used up. For example, time, money, and energy are all limited resources because you can run out of it. And if something is a limited resource, then a specific choice has to be made about it. How should you spend the day? What should you buy? What activities should you go to? Limited resources imply choice. Intuitively, this makes sense, because unlimited resources are things that cannot run out, so it doesn't matter how you use them. Oxygen, for all intents and purposes, is an unlimited resource. It's everywhere, it's not going to run out, for now, and there's no cost to breathing in more. So as a result, you don't have to choose how much oxygen you want to get in a day. Just breathe as much as you want. Another example, in the movie Click, time is an unlimited resource for Adam Sandler. Because he can stop time using a remote, he doesn't have to choose whether to work late on a business proposal or come home early and bang his hot wife. He just pauses time, finishes the business proposal, then comes home to this. It's only when a resource is limited that a choice has to be made. So in other words, choice implies limited resources. So the broad definition I gave you, which is the study of choices that individuals or a group have to make because of limited resources, can be simplified to the study of choice. Economics, in its broadest form, is the study of choice. Anything involving choice can become an economic study. So, choosing whether to buy a girl or drink or not at a bar can be economic analysis, because you're looking at the choices that individuals or a group, in this case you, have to make because of limited resources, in this case your money. Now, the reason we don't have buy or drink economic classes at school is because, well, whether you successfully pick her up or not at the bar has little to no significance for the rest of the world. It's quite unimportant, so you'd be hard-pressed to fill up a class with people interested in this topic. Shit, never mind. But in general, we apply economic study to things that have a much greater impact on the world. So things like health economics, crime economics, labor economics, even sex economics. Now, the greatest impact comes from the choices we make regarding money and the exchange of goods and services. How much money you have and the availability of goods and services affects your health, whether you commit a crime, whether you enter the workforce, whether you use contraception, and even whether you buy her a drink. The choices involving money and the exchange of goods and services have the greatest impact on individuals and groups throughout the world. So by studying them, you're encompassing all other studies of choice. For this reason, it's the main focus of economics. This is what the Google definition is referring to, this is what the economy refers to, and this is what most economic classes refer to. It's the study of choices individuals and a group make concerning money and the exchange of goods and services. So to reiterate, in its broadest term, it refers to the study of all choices, but in terms of its main focus, it's this.
Baby girl, what's your name? Let me talk